Funding for this video is provided through a grant from the North Central Extension Risk Management Education, USDA, National Institute of Food and Agriculture.
Good morning, sunshine, and welcome to Make Hay in conjunction with The Ohio State University. I'm Kelly Moore, and this is a presentation for you, my farm families, on the Farms spreadsheet, the tool that will get your assets organized and your succession plan rolling. So time to fill up that coffee cup and gather your info. Let's make hay. Good morning, sunshine. Today we are going to work on our yellow tabs in the Farms spreadsheet. Let's get started. Today we are discussing and inputting our information into the Identify tab, the first yellow tab. This page is asking for you to identify who will be your executors, your trustees, your financial power of attorneys, your healthcare power of attorneys. It's going to ask you if you would like a living will, and then if you have minor children, there's a section here about a healthcare power of attorney for minor children, and a guardian for your children, and also a section here about pets. So up here, it is asking who would you like to have serve as your executor in your will. Maybe you don't know what an executor is. Maybe you're confused between an executor and a trustee. If so, there is a button here. What is an executor? Click here, and it takes you to the next page, which is the second yellow tab. And it's definitions of these certain roles. So it'll tell you a little bit about what an executor is, trustee, and so on. You'll also see other little buttons here that will take you to articles on the Farm Office OSU Extension website, where it explains a little more in detail what a power of attorney is or what a healthcare power of attorney is. So this is sort of a lesson about what the roles are in your estate planning documents. Okay, so we go back here, back to the tab, and so let's start with executor. So John, this is for John, John's documents. John would like his primary executor to be Jane, and you see it's the drop-down menus. Jane would like John to be her primary executor. And then we like to see all three here. Attorneys will definitely ask you for one or two, definitely two. So here, John, as his secondary, has chosen Joe and Susan together. Jane, same thing. So you could say, all right, for John, he could pick a third. The third could be, let's say, Jimmy Smith, his grandson. All right, and then only if Joe and Susan are deceased, meaning Joe and Susan serve jointly, or the survivor of the two of them, and then Jimmy steps in. So you could write little kind of notes like that for your attorneys. But again, your attorneys are going to visit with you about this and talk more in detail about what your wishes are here. This is just for you to start thinking about who would serve in these roles. All right, again, you come down here to trustees. John chooses Jane. Jane chooses John. And again, with the children. Little note with the trustees, if you have a revocable trust, you are usually the grantor, the trustee and trustee of your trust. So an attorney will understand if it's your trust and you're naming your spouse It's only if you are not serving as trustee. All right, here is financial power of attorney. If you're alive, but you cannot make your financial decisions, again, you have Jane, and then, or John has Jane, and Jane has John. Same thing here. We could add, let's see, for John, we could add a third and name Jimmy. Same thing. Healthcare, same concept. A little word on couples and spouses. You do not have to choose the same thing as your spouse. Jane could say she wants her secondary to be Susan, and John can say he wants his secondary to be Joe. You do not have to make these same decisions. It helps with consistency in your estate planning documents, but it is not necessary. Right, this is for, do you want a living will or not? Your attorneys can describe or explain exactly what a living will is. This is that end of life document. And again, if you want to learn a little bit more about it before you meet with your attorney, here's the summary of that. It's just really a yes or no, not sure answer. It's okay to put not sure. Right, if you have minor children, we like to ask, some attorneys will do this document, some do not offer this document, but if you are, let's say, on vacation and your parents or your siblings or whoever is keeping your children, it's a good thing to have a document where they are able to make healthcare decisions for your child when you're not able to. That's what this healthcare power of attorney is. And usually also this other question here, we're going to name, if you have minor children, who are going to be the guardians. Your trust and wills will ask this. Who are the guardians? Most of the time, guardians are also who you name in your healthcare. But for example, my mom would keep our daughter when it happened, when we went on vacation. And I would give her a healthcare power of attorney in case Maddie had an accident and she needed to be taken to the doctor. My mom was able to make those decisions when we were unavailable. All right, and lastly, there is a question about your pets. Sometimes, and most of the time, attorneys will not venture into this topic, but if it helps, some people would like to identify this on their spreadsheet. You can name your pet and what would happen if something happened to you. What are your wishes for your pet? Almost one of the saddest things to think about, huh? Okay, so, all right, well, that concludes the first two tabs of the yellow, identify and then the definitions. That concludes today's video, and we are happy you joined us. We'll see you next time. We hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time here at Make Hay.